Previously on Derek Likes Sports.
I know what that is. I had that on my wall when I was a kid.
You had this
on my wall.
exact poster on your wall. This Got Milk poster?
Sports Illustrated for
Incredible.
kids. Yep, Sports Illustrated for kids had the Got Milk like posters in the magazines.
This is a great picture of Tom Brady only wearing shoulder pads. It says, not surprisingly, Tom likes his milk on ice. Milk delivers 9 essential nutrients active bodies need no matter how hot you are. And he's holding a glass of milk on a bag of ice, like a human would.
Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions. Wycheck. With 3-2 for the winner.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
That's caught by Des Bryant.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Derek Likes Sports, the unofficial podcast of Super Bowl 60, where somehow the Patriots have returned. In the cold open, you heard a familiar voice. That was John Fozberry, Foz, as we call him, our resident masshole here at Derek Likes Sports, and he is over the moon about his New England Patriots making the Super Bowl. A couple months ago, I pulled some Tom Brady merch off of eBay and had him take a look at it, had him rank it, make his Christmas list. It was in December when we did that. And then it just so happened that my beloved Chargers were matched up against his beloved Patriots in the wild card round of the playoffs. So he and I made a little wager, and if the Patriots won, I promised to buy that Tom Brady Got Milk poster that I found on eBay, and eagle-eyed viewers or Seahawk-eyed viewers will see right there. There it is. It's been back here a couple episodes. Tom Brady staring over my shoulder, listening to me criticize his color commentary. It's great. Yeah, I don't even remember what he was going to do if the Chargers won that game. I think we both went into that bet knowing that that just wasn't going to happen. So it wasn't important for us to come up with, what I would win in the scenario. I think I just wanted to buy the Got Milk poster, and this gave me an excuse. So thanks, I guess. Anyway, I'm so glad Foz came on the show. We got to reminisce about the 10 times in our lifetimes that we've watched the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. They were in one before we were even born. So they've been in 11. This is their 12th, and there are 60 Super Bowls. That means they've been in 20% of Super Bowls, and I guess we just have to be fine with that. We just have to accept that our lives are just dominated by the New England Patriots. Anyway, I'm not bitter at all about it. I do not tell the newspaper that I'm bitter. Here is my conversation with John. I thought since the Patriots were in the Super Bowl, it's time to bring in a long-suffering Patriots fan to talk about finally getting back to the mountaintop. How's it feel?
It's great. I mean, those 5 long years, right? I think it's been since Brady moved on, 6 or 7 since the Super Bowl. Last time, I can't remember how long it's been. It's hard to keep track, really. 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
From a middle school kids out there, 6, 7. Let's do it. I have to.
And that's it for today's show.
It's so funny because I think about it all the time because I teach middle school, and then in adult settings, nobody understands it, so it's I have to keep it to myself. So
if they have kids, they almost certainly do. I mean, my 3-year-old makes 6, 7 references now. It has gotten into the daycares somehow.
Oh,
I don't understand that.
That's so funny.
But us people our age saying it, that's going to be the thing that makes it eventually go away. So yeah. I think that I embrace it. That's a great.
It is slowly working through the halls of our middle school where they stop saying it because we have made it cringe, and it's wonderful.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So it's been about 7 years since the Patriots were in the Super Bowl. In those long 7 years, we've had to deal with Brady leaving, throwing pick 6, Logan Ryan on his last throw as a Patriot, and then going and winning a Super Bowl in Tampa. Then we had the Cam Newton year, which I think goes under the radar a little bit, because it was also the
promising
COVID
for a little
year.
bit. It was kind of like when Brett Favre went to the Jets and got off to a really good start and it was like, oh look, they're gonna be good, and then it fell apart.
Yeah, and I bought totally into the Cam Newton thing. I was like, let's go, we got to do it. What's our alternative, right? We have to.
Well, Jarrett Stidham.
We have to try. It was gonna
be Jarrett Stidham.
Okay, but But alas, then we had to deal with Mac Jones, which I think like people understand like it wasn't good, like from like outside looking in. It was really bad. I mean, the first year was good, with when he had McDaniels, and then I don't think people understand like how dysfunctional the Patriots were for those like 3 years after Mac Jones's first year. Like it was like, Jets level and things like that, And I'm not trying to curry any favor or anything. I understand, there was a whole 20 years before that happened. But yeah, Belichick hiring Matt Patricia to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, what was that?
And Joe Judge to be like the quarterback coach was just like insane. People around here always think it has to do with Belichick was always paid like really a lot. Like it was undisclosed, but people would think it was over like $20 million a year. And so Kraft would like penny pinch the assistants. And so he'd find guys that were like already being paid elsewhere, or find guys that would like, or like Belichick would find guys that would like, out of work that he knew, especially towards the end. And that was Patricia and Judge, who had flamed out,
because Judge had just been fired by the Giants, right?
Yep, and Patricia from the Lions too. And they were like, it was bad. Like those two, it was bad situations when they left those teams, and they landed there on the offensive side of the football for whatever reason.
Right.
And so, you don't want to do that with any quarterback, let alone someone like Mac Jones, who, I don't his head wasn't really in this place. There was a story where he called like Nick Saban to like ask for advice about what to do, and that like rubbed Belichick the wrong way, I guess. And Belichick kind of like iced him out after that.
Oh, geez. I didn't know. And is that when he started Bailey Zappi for like a little stretch there? You kind of soft benched.
Oh no, it was a loud benching. Like it
was a loud benching. Okay.
The low point was Monday Night Football against the Bears in like October, and like Jones threw 2 interceptions on the first 2 drives, and the whole stadium was chanting for Bailey Zappi. And I was just sitting on my couch being like, this is literally like, this is what it's like to be like a Jets fan or a Browns fan. Like, this is totally like we're chanting for Bailey Zappi, who stinks, because our starting quarterback like stinks, and it's bad.
I think isn't Zappi the all-time passing yards record holder for college football?
He sure is.
Probably just, he just played a lot, and he played in a air raid system, probably, right?
Western Kentucky. Yep.
That's still kind of cool. So the starting quarterbacks the Patriots have had since Brady, it was Cam, Zappi, Jones, Brissett.
Hoyer started a few.
Hoyer started? Oh my God.
He started the Cam Newton year. Cam Newton, they made Newton sit against the Chiefs in Arrowhead because he had COVID. And then Brian Hoyer had to start that. And Hoyer was like, it was pretty bad. It was a disaster. It was a game they could have won. But didn't go that way.
I was looking at like past Super Bowls, and I wanted to see how many the Patriots have been to in your lifetime. And like I was alive for all of those, and it was still a number higher than I thought. Mm-hmm. Which is 11. I'm looking at 5, 6. This is the 11th.
11. Yep. I'm 34 years old, turning 35.
A third of your life.
Yep. And the first like game I remember watching and like everyone being excited for was the 96 Super Bowl against the Packers.
31, Super Bowl 31, yeah.
Yep. I remember my uncle making jambalaya, and we still do this tradition. Like it passed on to my kids, but my mom made us all t-shirts for the game. And I was Ben Coates 87 is I have the authentic version
nice.
now. Yeah. So he was my first favorite player. And my sister wore Drew Bledsoe. My little brother was like one. He was in a Curtis Martin jersey, like a t-shirt jersey. And then we carried it forward through the next like couple of years. And then we do it now with my kids, so it's fun. It's a fun tradition. And then everything after that, like 2001, I was 10 years old, and so it was like the literal perfect time, for the whole thing to start, right? Like I was hooked.
Yeah, because technically the Cowboys have won 3 Super Bowls in my lifetime, but I was not capable of forming memories yet. So, what good does that do me? It's kind of funny. Drake may kind of ruin something for me, because if he had made it next year, it would have been a nice bit of synergy because Bledsoe was 24 when he made the Super Bowl. Brady was 24 when he made the Super Bowl, and young little Drake May, born in 2003 or whatever, is he's only 23. Crazy. 2002, I guess. He was born the year Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that nice for you? Isn't that?
It's so nice.
I'm going to tone down the bitterness a little bit. I'm not actually bitter about it. It's fine. You guys, it's you know, Bob Kraft, clearly the devil. That's what it has to be.
I can't confirm nor deny if he is or not. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's weird because you're not like, I don't have like a, vivid memory of it, but my dad's always been a huge football guy. And I remember like probably being like a toddler or whatever, and just hazy memories, right? I had a TV in my bedroom that was like, the old rabbit ear with the dial, right? Didn't work unless you used the rabbit ears. And so on Sundays, when I like, before, probably like, this would have been 93, 94 when I was like 2 or 3 years old, he would roll it out into the living room and try to find the Patriots on the rabbit ears because they didn't sell out their games. And you remember the rule was if you didn't sell out your games, they didn't play it in the market. So we'd try to find it coming from Connecticut because like the cutoff for the New York market's in Connecticut, and you could get it, and he would watch it all scrambled in the snow, like, of like the old bunny ear TV.
This is such a okay, Grandpa, let's get you to bed story. Like, but I do relate to it. Yeah, like the nice memory. Yeah, that's how I grew up watching it. It was with my dad, just watching like whatever. It was always the Washington team. Growing up in the 90s, so I watched a lot of Gus Frerotte and Mark Brunell and Patrick Ramsey. The glory days, really, of the highest level of football. Was being played. What do you think of this team? Like, how does this feel compared to those other teams? Like, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think a lot of Patriots fans were going into this year like, we're going to be in the Super Bowl, better plan our trips to Santa Clara. So like, what's the vibe?
Absolutely not.
How does it feel?
I think everyone assumed the operation would be better than it was last year because it literally probably couldn't be worse. Like last year, just every part of it, like with Gerard Mayo, was really, really like poor. Like they couldn't really score. They had no plan on offense. They couldn't stop anyone. It was so we figured just having like an adult in the room that's like been around football for a long time and like coaching football, high level football for a long time would fix some things. And I think everyone expected them to be competitive, like making like one of those wild card spots, like not winning the division, of course, not finishing as the 2 seed, or taking the 1 seed to the last day, essentially, right?
Right.
So I don't think no one expected this, like not even close. I think we probably expected something along the lines of like 2021 with Mac Jones when, they were frisky and beat some teams and they won the games they should, lost the games they should, and then, got trounced in the first round by a better team. I think that's probably more where we expected to be, for sure. In terms of comparing it to other like Super Bowl teams, like this is all the other games I thought we were gonna win. Like the 2001 one was probably different. It was more the whole vibe leading up to it was Brady versus Bledsoe. So like who's gonna play because Brady got hurt in the AFC title game and had the ankle, so that kind of drove the whole conversation.
And
like,
Brady wasn't Brady yet.
No, and it was just like, and they weren't supposed to win anyway, so it was kind of like like who's going to play? That's like all anyone talked about. No one thought they would actually win the game. And that's different. This year, I think people like, the media doesn't think we're going to win, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But I think there's more belief just because of the last, 20 years now. Like, there's this, like, why, we're in the Super Bowl. Why wouldn't we have a chance?
Right. The Rams were 14-point favorites in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to pull it up because I remember it was like a massive upset, but 14 points.
Yep.
I guess they had won it 2 years before that. They had the league MVP at quarterback. Like,
they'd beaten the Patriots in Foxborough that year too. Like
really? Yeah.
On Monday Night Football, outdoors on grass.
Yeah, and that's that's the only other time this century where there's been a double-digit spread. I'm sorry, this might hurt. Was the 18-0 Patriots against the Giants? That was but that was a 12-point. That was even closer than the Rams Patriots one. So, and then this year was it 4.5?
Yeah, I think it is it 4.5 still. Yeah,
I think so. So I mean that's not even that. That's not even that big. Like it wouldn't be super shocking on that basis. But either way, whoever wins this will be the team with the longest odds in the preseason to win a Super Bowl since the Rams did it. I guess it was 99, 2000, the first Warner one. Yeah. So I mean, either way, either team. So, I mean, Seahawks fans probably, they feel the same way. It's like how we thought this team would be good, but maybe have a shot at a wild card. No way they can beat out the Niners or the Rams, and then they did, and here they are. So it's two parallel stories.
They had a lower win total over under than the Patriots did. The Patriots had 8.5, and the Rams is 7.5.
I think as soon as people saw the Patriots schedule come out, like their stock went up a little bit because I think it kind of solidified, like, oh wow, okay, they have, and then they came out and lost to the Raiders week 1.
So bad.
So it was like, oh man, maybe the Raiders are good, maybe the Patriots aren't as good as we thought they'd be, and nope, neither of those things are true. Weird to look back on week 1 games like that, and
those, and it's funny because the year before, right, last year with Drew the Patriots won in Cincinnati week 1,
right,
and then just couldn't do anything after that.
And that's ultimately what kept the Bengals out of the playoffs last year. Was you can really pin it to that lost the game they shouldn't have lost. So I wanted to go through with you all the quarterbacks that the Patriots have faced in a Super Bowl. It's a fun list, and I thought maybe you could rank them or something. I don't know.
But where's Jim McMahon for the '85 Bears?
Oh, I meant in your lifetime.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
we don't need to talk about McMahon. That game did that game really happen? We weren't born yet. There's no way.
Patriots were ahead 3-0. People forget.
Yeah. That's similar to there was a Broncos Redskins Super Bowl where the Broncos went up 10-0 and ended up losing 42-10.
Oh yeah.
I guess that was a theme of the 80s, was the AFC just being terrible for year over year. Yeah. I mean, the NFC won it was 11 in a row or even more. I can't remember. So you got Favre, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner, another Hall of Famer, and then Jake Delhomme. Did he make the Hall of Fame? I can't remember.
No chance.
Donovan McNabb, Eli Manning again.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, seen here thinking about buying a private jet. Matt Ryan. I can't remember what happened in that game. Nick Foles.
Nice,
wide receiver
great.
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, and now Samuel Darnold. I don't know who's the best out of these guys. How would you rank these quarterbacks that the Patriots have faced in the Super Bowl?
I mean, Favre's the first one for sure. He's the best one.
You put Favre? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I've even gone back and watched that game, obviously, since being 5 years old when it happened. And it's one of those things where the Patriots did okay in the game. They were always right there, but Favre just kind of never let them up. And then the kick return and everything too.
That was in the middle of him winning 3 MVPs, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. It was during that.
Yeah, he was dominant. And they got back to the Super Bowl the next year. They beat I want to say they beat the Cowboys in the NFC Championship that year, or maybe it was the 49ers. I can't remember, but
that was always the dance back then, wasn't it? It was always Packers, 49ers, Cowboys, in combo of those.
Because the year before that, when the Cowboys won their last one, Super Bowl 30, they beat the Packers in the conference championship game. So yeah, those 3 were dominant. After kind of Washington and the Giants fell off, it was really between those 3 for a couple of years. So that was a league MVP. Warner was a league MVP. And then Ryan was a league MVP that they faced in a Super Bowl the year. And then wow. I really wanted I wanted the Rams to win this year because I kind of wanted that parallel of facing the Rams, facing a league MVP quarterback, arguably future Hall of Fame quarterback that has already won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. The storylines of that of Drake May literally just doing the Brady thing would have been fun. But
oh my god, and too, the Rams fans would have been this is the time. The Patriots, we are better than the Patriots.
Yeah,
and it's going to happen again, and then it wouldn't have happened again.
There's
no chance it would have happened.
It's kind of like how Aaron Rodgers' his whole career, he was doing cosplay of Brett Favre. It would be is Drake May doing the same thing? He'll end up going to the Buccaneers in 20 years and winning a Super Bowl. But not to be.
As long as he gets a few here first, then he can do whatever he wants.
Well, yeah, he would have to. Who would you put second after Brett Favre?
Probably Warner. As much as I hate it,
he's the other Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, I mean, it speaks for himself. His play speaks for itself.
Yeah,
he's a big pro dome guy, so I don't, appreciate him. But
He
He
only
was-
played in domes, right? I guess
he had-
Arizona's technically retractable. But
Well,
they
he also
never...
had like a weird like 2-year thing with the Giants.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then he had a career
Yeah.
renaissance in Arizona. He warmed up Eli Manning like after Eli got
Right.
drafted.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like after, like between Kerry Collins and Eli Manning. He also played years in the Arena Football League, so he
Yep.
was really committed to that
Oh, yeah.
indoor lifestyle. The rest of these guys
Yeah.
are interesting.
Yeah, they're close. This is where it gets hard.
Yeah.
Give me Matty Ice next. Give me Matt Ryan.
I appreciate you saying that. I feel like he gets
What's the stink of
overlooked a little bit.
Yeah, it's the stink of the jersey and the Falcons. Like he not only did he play
Yeah.
for the Falcons, but he played when they like don't look their best either. Like just aesthetically, like so.
Yeah. Although this, I will say that jersey is better than the one they have now.
True.
If we have to defend that jersey in any way. And they also he was involved in that, of course, that Super Bowl meltdown, the 28-3 game. And then like a couple years later when he was with the Colts, he was the quarterback for the Colts when they gave up the biggest comeback in NFL history. I think it was
to the Vikings.
NFL history, to the Vikings.
Yeah.
Was that Thanksgiving or like Black Friday?
It was a holiday or something.
It was like
you're right.
it was some like island game.
Yeah.
So yeah, Matt Ryan. I appreciate you putting him there.
You can put Delhomme second to last and Foles last.
Foles last,
Like
behind Delhomme.
Yeah.
Nick Foles played a much better game than Jake Delhomme did in that Super Bowl. You got it.
I don't know. The Super Bowl 38 was kind of back and forth for a long time.
It was. I mean, it ended on a Vinatieri kick as time expired. Like it was as close as it could be. I mean, that's the thing about the Patriots being in the Super Bowl is like it's, at least in our lifetimes, it's always been a great game.
You know what? You go to the Super Bowl 11 times, right? Like me, right? 11 games, and so every time we're in the Super, like there was a time, especially in the middle there, like near those Giants ones, like in the Seahawks one, I'd be going and be like, please, just a blowout. Please just blow a team out. Like we're due for a blowout. Especially like I think the Falcons one was the one that was the most prominent. I was like, just blow them out. Like it's the Falcons. Like it shouldn't be a game. Like
you almost got your blowout.
I know. Yeah.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, even the Seahawks game, like they were down 10 going into
10
the
in the fourth
quarter.
quarter. That's
And
like
yeah.
I mean, we talk about like Belichick's Mona Lisa being the Rams bookends, right? Like especially the last one against McVay. Like the fourth quarter for Brady against the Seahawks was probably his. Like it's like the stats are like crazy. I don't know them off the top of my head, but it's like, you know, I think he only threw like 2 incomplete passes and had like 200 yards in the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns. Like crazy.
Yeah.
Against like, you know, the best secondary ever to some people, right? Like
and like all of the Brady Super Bowls, he got off to like a rough start. Like he never like came out of the gates just like dealing in any of those Super Bowls really. No. Even though, I mean, the one he won in Tampa where they blew him out, like he didn't have to do much. So it's like, but he was, you know, the best in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, just crazy numbers. So you got Delhomme, Nick Foles last.
Let's go Darnold.
Darnold where? Which direction?
On the end, next to Foles, next to Delhomme.
Next to Delhomme. Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Seeing Ghosts. I can't.
Two Panthers greats, right back to back.
I'll never get over the Seeing Ghosts thing. Like it's like it's been in my head like all week, just being like, I can't believe.
And that was against Belichick, right? I mean, that was against the Patriots. Yeah.
That was one of the biggest fraud Patriot teams. That was Brady's last year, 2019. They started like 8-0, and then went to Baltimore and got absolutely slaughtered. And then from there, it was bad. I think they were like 4-4 to end the year, and it was.
They got upset I think against Miami the last week of the season. And that's why they were playing on the wild card weekend, right? And that was like the first wild card game they played in
years, like probably since 2009 when they lost to Ravens in the race. Like
right
thing. Like it was forever.
Yeah. All right. So not a believer in well, I mean, okay, you're putting him behind Jared Goff, Eli Manning ×2, Russell Wilson, and Donovan McNabb. I guess that's not the biggest indictment.
No. All right, let's put All right, here's how the order is gonna go. It's gonna go from the front after Matt Ryan. It's gonna go Jared Goff.
Okay.
Russell Wilson.
Let him cook. All right. Man.
I want to say McNabb, but I don't think I can't say McNabb.
Are you
So-
going to lump these Mannings together?
The Elis are together. Yes.
Do you see any difference really? They're the same. That was like the only time in his career where he played at that level.
That's the thing. At least these other quarterbacks that the Patriots faced have put together decent careers. Otherwise, the Mannings and then Nick Foles, it's like each of them had. It was like 3 good months between the 3 of them, and the rest of their careers
that is okay.
I mean Manning at least was a starter for a long time. Like the Foles thing is like
the Foles thing was
it's insane. And it all goes back to that Malcolm Butler benching. He benched Malcolm Butler for no reason, or whoever knows the reason. It's like, nobody knows. Like the players must have signed like an NDA or something because none of the players will talk about it.
Really?
Yeah, like every time they ask someone, no one says anything. Like I don't know if Belichick may not have told anybody why, ever, because they ask, it's like 10 years ago at this point, and they always ask all these former players and all these shows. Every time someone asks someone, I make a point to try and watch it, and no one knows. It's like,
man. Well,
but it ruined it because they had to put on some backup safety, Jordan Richards, who's horrific, and he couldn't play safety because they had to kick McCourty out to corner, and it ruined the whole thing. That's why they couldn't cover anyone.
When did they bench him? Was that in the during the game?
Before the game. So it was before the game. They must have told him in pregame because he came out dressed, and then he was weeping during the national anthem, weeping. And
I don't remember this at all. That's a crazy story, given that he had just been the hero in the Super Bowl a couple of years before that.
Yeah, and it's I have no idea. No one knows why. No one knows why. Not even Malcolm Butler, because that's what people ask him about, which stinks for him because his whole thing should be the interception in the Seahawks game. But no, every time it's all about why didn't you play against the Eagles?
And then there's the great clip of them talking about how it's like a video of their practice leading up to the game where they literally simulated that exact play happening.
Yep.
And I think in practice it was a touchdown. I think they scored a touchdown on
Yep.
On
they didn't
cover.
They didn't cover it right in practice. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is just it's just crazy to see stuff like that, and that must happen all the time.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I just never on that stage really.
Yeah.
You get to see that kind of thing. So yeah. So who other than Drake May would you say is the most valuable part of the Patriots this year, and is part of the very quick turnaround to get them to the Super Bowl?
I tell you what, Milton Williams, who was their big free agent signing on the D-line, has been an absolute game wrecker. And I think that kind of lulled people to sleep towards the end of the year on the Patriots because he missed, I think, the last month and a half of the season. Yeah. And they still won. They won a bunch of games, but they were giving up tons of yards, and against the Jets they gave up some yards, and against the Dolphins they gave up some yards and stuff like that. But when he came back, it was in the playoffs that's one of the reasons why Herbert and Stroud were so terrible, is because they with Barmore and Williams in the middle, it changes the whole thing.
Yeah, none of those 3 offenses could run the ball in games where they absolutely needed to be able to run the ball.
Right.
And that's why the Patriots are able to shut all 3 of them down. I mean, the weather gets cold and snowy, and the passing game kind of can slow down in that situation. So you need to be able to run the ball. You need to be able to play. I mean, the whole theory of why the Chargers, Texans, or Broncos could win was based on their defense. And the best way to win a defensive game is to be able to run the ball. And the interior line just shut that down.
No, and I think, and that was happening earlier in the season too with the Patriots. Early in the year, they the first half of the season, they were shutting teams' run games down. They were big time. You could throw on them. They still don't cover the tight end, which they never will. I have no idea why, but they never will. Their safeties are allegedly good too, I've heard, but they don't cover tight ends at all. But yeah.
So what you're saying is take the over on AJ Barner's yards.
I'm terrified of AJ Barner. All the players, there's AJ Barner's gonna score 2 touchdowns in this Super Bowl or something because they just don't cover the tight end. It's so weird.
Speaking of AJ Barner, I was talking to my friend Scott, who lives in Seattle, and he's a big Seahawks fan, and I posed him the question of, all right, 20 seconds left in the game, 1 yard line, second down by 4. What are you doing? And he like called it perfectly. He was like, "Oh, they're putting AJ Barner under center and they're running the tush push. They call it the barnyard."
Nice.
And I was like,
That's
"Oh my
awesome.
god!" I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that is what would have happened if that exact scenario came up." Now
Yeah.
is we have a way around this now. Nobody's throwing slants anymore on the goal line on second down. So
No.
yeah, it's funny. There's a prop bet that this year of will the Seahawks throw a pass from the 1 yard line, which
I love
just
that.
diabolical. Yeah. So and also, and speaking on the topic of prop bets, I just was like really surprised. Jackson Smith and Jigba's over under on receiving yard is 90. There's like 95.5, which is crazy. It's like he's gonna have he's almost certainly gonna have a historic performance. Is basically what that over under is saying. It's like a 50% chance. It's that blew me away.
Which that's another thing with the Patriots. So they don't like wide receiver ones. I guess they don't do well on, and it makes sense. Like it makes sense because they give 3 touchdowns to Drake London like at home that time.
Yeah,
like they gave a ton of yards to him and touchdowns. I think Tyreek Hill.
Why is that?
Like they run a lot of zone. They like Vrabel's a big zone guy, so they do like this like 4-3 and then a zone behind it. And so like they don't shadow with Gonzalez. And I'm wondering if maybe that's the little wrinkle for this week because
maybe they
Darnold
just have Gonzalez shadow JSN.
Yeah, because Darnold obviously, he's not good with pressure, especially up the middle, which whenever I think of how the Patriots are going to win, it's like, it's the Patriots defensive line against the Seattle's offensive line, which Seattle's offensive line is, it's okay, but it's not like, the Patriots, the Broncos O line is really, really good. And the Patriots were everywhere last week.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraged with that. So I'm hoping they like run a little more man and maybe get a little more pressure than they're used to because they can't get really off the edge with anyone but Chase on right now.
Yeah.
Which is wild because he was like a huge bust. Like
the best argument for the Patriots winning is that Sam Darnold, no quarterback turned the ball over more this year than Sam Darnold. Mm-hmm. And that is kind of the great equalizer in games. Now, the problem is even when he would turn the ball over, he turned the ball over 5 times against the Rams and they still had a kick to win the game at the end that they missed. But like they were right there in a game that Sam Darnold turned the ball over 5 times. So they like find ways to their defense is just so good and figuring and if there is a offensive coordinator, I think that could scheme around that. It might be Josh McDaniels, but it's just there's just so much talent. You can only scheme up so much against such a talented defense.
So and like the coaching matchup too is like so good. Like I feel like these are 2 like really good staffs like all around, and so there's not like any weak links. Like with the Rams, I could have been like, their special teams are horrible. Like, they pick, Marcus Jones could return a punt. Like, probably a good bet if they were playing the Rams that he would return a punt. But yeah, no, with the Seahawks, it's like, they don't give an inch on defense. And, the Patriots, I'm hoping facing the Chargers, the Texans and the Broncos is like the kind of like a weighted bat effect for the offense.
True. Yeah.
Where like, the defense has been so hard for so long and the weather has been terrible, like in all 3 of these games that like playing, 65 degrees in San Francisco is like, they're like, oh, like this is what football is like again, like we can do regular football, right? Like, I don't know.
And Drake May's ability to improvise and run is gonna be huge. I mean, that is why they beat the Broncos. That's his plays at the end of the game, his play to score their only touchdown of the game. Like that is that's kind of the secret weapon that they have with him. So I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people are overlooking or taking it as a foregone conclusion that Seahawks are going to win. Like I've kind of talked that way a little bit, but there's always a path for a team to win once they've made it to the Super Bowl. Like that, like it's one game. This is the difference between the NFL and the other sports leagues. It just comes down to one game every single time. And, football's weird. Stuff can happen.
Yeah, right. Like, there's, Patriots, we've been on the other side of it, more often, plenty of times, right? With the 2 Giants ones and Nick Foles. And so we get it. Like, I think it too, like this year, like I've been always waiting kind of like for the other shoe to drop. Like, I keep thinking like, there's no way the team is like this good. Like how are we like here? Like how does this, how are they winning so much? So I keep waiting for it to happen. I hope it doesn't, but
It's the same on the other side with Sam Darnold. Like, we've all just been waiting. We've been like, when is it going to happen? Like, when is he going to? Because last year with Minnesota, he was phenomenal. They won 14 games going in the last week of the season, chance to be the 1 seed, and then he played his two worst games of the season, and he was out of town. It's just like we're just waiting for it to happen again. You know,
this is honestly with Darnold, like I think if he was with Minnesota this year, I don't think it necessarily would have been as good. I think McDonald, coach in Seattle, just like it's just different. It's just different. I mean, KOC, knows he clearly knows what he's doing. Like, but I think different coaches get different amounts out of guys and like know how to manage guys certain ways. And I don't know if KOC necessarily has like the touch to kind of like manage the game with the quarterback who he has. Like he just kind of has his system and wants the system run.
Yeah.
And then McDonald has Kubiak, and they kind of know how to get the most out of quarterback. And that Kubiak system, like from the Shanahans and stuff like that, that's very friendly for quarterbacks anyway, with all like the handoffs and the sprint outs and the play action boots and everything like that. So
yeah, the plays kind of dictate themselves a little bit. And you're able to kind of just play in rhythm, and as long as you hold on to the football, you're going to be okay. But that even when you don't, sometimes you're going to be okay. And it's interesting with the Vikings, like that feels like such a disaster now that they let Darnold go and kind of had a revolving door at quarterback this year, and maybe McCarthy didn't play well. They went 9-8, like they still had a winning season. It's crazy to think about. Like you think when you think about how much of a disaster. I mean, they just fired their general manager. It is interesting to wonder, though. I mean, that kind of makes me wonder what they would be like if Darnold were there. Like, how many games would they win if he were there? But,
I mean, do you want to talk like Brian Flores for the Vikings, right? He was on these Patriots staffs from, the Seattle Super Bowl to the last Rams one against Goff, and he's a heck of a coach, like Brian Flores. Like, I think the world of him too.
Yeah, nobody puts a quarterback in hell like Brian Flores. Interestingly, if the Patriots win this game, they'll be the fourth team in NFL history to finish with 18 wins in a season, matching the 84 Niners, the 85 Bears, the 18-1 Patriots, and the Eagles last year. So that's kind of cool for a team that is being accused of the fraud accusations. Are out there.
It is so funny being in a position where like the only way to not be a fraud is to win the Super Bowl. Like it's
even then, I don't know. Will they get the credit? It's like, yeah.
If they force 4 turnovers and win like 24-10 or whatever, it's gonna be like, oh, Sam Darnold saw ghosts. Like doesn't count.
Yeah. Good job. You beat Sam Darnold. Yeah.
And then we'll hang another banner in Foxborough, and everyone will be so mad about it.
Wait. So Patriots have 6? Is that
6.
right?
Yep.
So this is to pull ahead of the Steelers.
Yeah.
Who are tied? So tied at the top right now for franchise Super Bowls. I'm old enough to remember when the Cowboys were tied atop the tower.
Do they have 5 total?
They have 5. Yeah.
5.
Yeah. Yep. And I remember there was a time when the Cowboys had played in the most. They had played in 8. And no one else had done that. Those days are past. Those days are long past. The Patriots have been to more than 8 just in my lifetime. So
that's great. I think I'm in a point now though where the Cowboys are fun again. Like I used to.
This year was great.
Yeah, I used to like really, like kind of like root on their downfall, being like because they got all the hype. But it's like it's one of those things where like they're fun. Like Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Pickens. Like it's a fun thing.
Yeah,
and then
they are like likable, which is cool.
Yeah,
like people I feel like Romo was like easy to root against. I liked him a lot, but like I don't know. I feel like Dak is less so, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
It's funny because like why though? Like why was Romo like? Because I get what you mean.
No
like
idea.
he was easy to root against. Like. But it's so weird. Why?
It was the uniform bias. Yeah. And he was like dating like Jessica Simpson and like Carrie Underwood and stuff. And like, I don't know. But so how do you see, let's let's nail you down on a prediction right now that's totally binding. How do you see this game going? What do you see the final score being?
I probably have to. Obviously it's gonna be close. We're not gonna get a blowout because that's just what happens, right? So I'm gonna say 24-20 Patriots. 24-20.
24-20 Patriots.
24-20.
Wow, so almost reverse covering. They're almost covering with the spread that the Seahawks have. 24-20. Okay. All right. I respect that. It is funny how, like, historically, the Super Bowls were often blowouts, like, for a while there. Like, we got a lot of blowouts. And then, like, the last couple of decades, that has not been the case.
It is so funny to think about that, like, how that's, like, people older than us, like, talk about that, the Super Bowl that way. But, like, for us, it's, like, that's never, like, almost never the case, like, ever. Like, we had
the time the Seahawks won was a big blowout.
Yeah.
Last year it was a blowout.
With
the Chiefs and the Eagles. But yeah.
And then, Oakland and, what was it? Tampa was, like, kind of, like, got out of hand a little bit, too. Yeah. But other than that, it's, like, they've all been good games. Like, I'm happy, too. Like, the two blowouts, like, those, like, for me, like, the hater in me, like, the Eagles one was so fun, like, every single second of it. Oh, my God. Every single second was amazing. And then the same with, like, the, like, I remember I was, like, for the Broncos Seahawks one, I was, like, sitting in my, like, apartment in Spain when I was living there at the time and just being like, how is this kind of, like, why are these two teams here? Like, I don't want either of these two. And then the second the ball went over Peyton Manning's head on the first snap, I'm like, oh, okay. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun night. And it was so fun.
That game kept getting worse like for the Broncos.
Like pick six on like a batted throw.
I think Percy Harvin
kick return.
Was it a punt return or a kick return? Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, and it started with a safety, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they snapped it over Manning's head right away. Like
so is it did that game start 2-0 Seahawks?
Yep.
There's one other Super Bowl that I can remember that started 2-0. Do you remember which one?
Oh, I do. Yes. Yeah. The 20. Yeah. Which
on the holding.
No, it was intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding,
and he threw it in the middle of the field. So there's two things.
To catch up the listener in case they didn't put it together. It was the second time the Giants and Patriots played in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl, what was that, 46? Anyway, the game started with a first drive. Tom Brady got called for intentional grounding while he was in the end zone.
Yep.
So it was ruled as safety.
And he wasn't pressured. It wasn't like he threw it like through the end of the defense in the middle of the field, and they called him which is the first time I'd ever seen that called ever. The second time the first time I ever saw a call also happened when I was 10 years old in that 2001 Super Bowl when they called McGinnis for defensive holding on Marshall Faulk when Tabucky Jones scoop and scored.
Right.
When the Rams are
that would have
at
put
the
them
goal
up 21-3,
line.
right? And instead,
defensive holding. And I remember being like, that penalty doesn't exist. Like, how did they? How I've never heard of that before.
Not in that way. Usually, it's like a corner, like holding a wide receiver trying to run a route.
And back then, 2001, they never called that anyway.
No, they didn't call that. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God! And if you watch the replay, like 100%, like William McGinnis, like bear hugged him, didn't let him down.
Totally.
Like 100%.
It's just you don't see it.
Yeah, so I get it.
That's funny.
But and then that 2012 one, like
the intentional grounding thing, like especially when you have like wide receivers running option routes where the quarterback doesn't even necessarily know which way the running back's going to go. If he's trying to throw it on time, like that kind of thing can happen several times a game. It was a really weird call. The ref went up to Bill Belichick and was like, he was like basically like, it's the right call. I don't like the way that this rule is written. I'm hoping we can get it changed. And Bill Belichick's like, oh, well, that's great. Yeah, great. Thank you for that.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one though, that year though, like if there's one game where I was like the Patriots maybe don't belong for the Super Bowl, that might have been one of them. Because that was the crazy year where like they had like no secondary, and they'd won the week before on the Billy Cundiff missed field goal.
Oh, right.
And they had like Julian Edelman covering Anquan Bolden on the final drive.
Right.
Like, that is like a real thing that happened. And then like their other corners were like Sterling Moore and Jonathan Will, like guys that no one knows their name except for like freaks like me, right? and Brandon Merriweather and Brandon Spikes. Like the defense was so bad.
Was Merriweather a Maryland guy?
Merriweather was the U. He went to Miami.
The U, okay.
Yep.
I might be thinking of a different one, but man.
Yeah, so that
I
guy,
forgot about the Edelman thing, and I can't imagine a worse wide receiver for him to be covering than Anquan Bolden.
Legit, like final drive AFC Championship game. Julian Edelman on Anquan Bolden. Like,
jeez.
how are we here? How did we get here? Like, it's one of those things. And then so like them losing that game, like obviously sucked, but it was one of those things where you look back on it and it's like, yeah, like they had like a horrible defense. Like they had no business being there. They won that was like there was a probably a 4-year period there from like 2010 to like 2014 before the defense like ramped up again before the Seahawks Super Bowl, where it was 100% Tom Brady and like no hope. Like,
and there was a time there. I mean, I think we talked about this last time I talked to you, where it was like kind of iffy of whether or not Brady, like people were kind of wondering if Brady needed to move on from Brady then before. And I think that's why that Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl is like so important to both Belichick and Brady's legacies. Because if they lose that one, I don't know, it's like a totally different like trajectory, because they hadn't won and since beating the Eagles.
Yep.
They'd lost the 2 to the Giants when they were favored to win, and to lose a third in a row, it's kind of like, oh man, like
the vibes when Curse made that like circus catch on the last drive was like I was just like laying on my parents' couch. I physically cannot believe this is happening again.
It was the third. It was the third in a row that was happening, because they had, of course, the David Tyree helmet catch, and then Manningham made that
Mario Manningham, Michigan
ridiculous catch,
crazy throw, like the throw of like a lifetime from Eli too, like like unreal.
And then it happened again. And then the next time they were in the Super Bowl, it happened for the Patriots. Julian Edelman made, I think, the best catch in Super Bowl history. Just like picking it off the ground, off the deflection.
Oh my God. Like bailed out, like horrible throw from Brady on that one too.
Yeah.
Just like totally bailed him out. Like so crazy. So crazy. Like,
so it's nice the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl, because weird stuff happens that almost every time. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, we might get the what if we get a 1-point safety? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh man, that would be crazy. Fantastic. Well,
if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Patriots.
So that's when you go for 2, and then get a safety.
You fumble it back.
Yeah. All like 99 yards.
Yeah. You have to get
tackled in your own end zone. That's 1 point.
Yep. You have to get a
safety.
safety.
That should be worth
on the
way more than 1 point.
Me and my friends make it worth 50 points in our fantasy league if it ever happens to your defense.
That is the golden snitch of football. Like if that ever happens, that's it. The game's over. That team wins. Although, the golden snitch, the team technically doesn't win automatically. It ends the game, and they get get like 100 points or something. It's like clear that J.K. Rowling had never watched a sport. But that is a topic for another time. So you got Patriots 24, Seahawks 20. Did I get that right? MVP.
20, yep.
Go ahead and pick an MVP for us.
Oh man.
I mean,
it's kind of
favorite.
I mean, if I'm gonna pick someone that's not the quarterback, which I'm gonna do, it's gonna be Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh,
Ramondre.
You think he has like an Emmitt Smith game, like 3 touchdowns? And
I just think like he's gonna be the guy that runs the ball. Like they don't give the ball to TreVeyon Henderson anymore, I guess. So
yeah, why would
like
they?
if it's not gonna be Drake May, it's probably gonna be, Ramondre.
Like that.
Unless
like
Marcus
that.
Jones returns a kick, which he could, but who knows?
Yeah, or like a
pick 6. Like
All right.
He's electric.
All right, I'm gonna go place those parlay bets now, and we'll see how they turn out. Well, thanks for coming on again, and good luck. And we'll see if the Patriots get that seventh banner.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait for it.
And that is it for today's episode. Thanks again, Foz, for coming on. We'll see if the Patriots get that 7th banner, or if they will increase their lead for the most Super Bowls lost in NFL history by any franchise. I guess that's the one silver lining that we get with the Patriots going to a lot of Super Bowls, is they have lost the most. But it's kind of like how Babe Ruth had the most strikeouts in Major League history. Like, nobody really cares about that. Nobody thinks he's bad because he had the most strikeouts. So I guess it's an empty victory. But anyway, good luck. I should mention you should check out couchscouts.com. They just put out their first version of their rookie draft preview. It's great if you play Dynasty Fantasy Football, which I know a lot of people that listen to this do. Great place for you to get acquainted with this year's rookies. And even if you're just a football fan and you want some idea of the offensive players coming out of the draft this year, go check it out. Great content over there. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to it now. Go subscribe on YouTube. It really helps the show, and it will maybe hopefully someday support my NFL mini helmet buying addiction. I have the 2 members of the Super Bowl here. I got one with my logo here. I got this old Giants one right here on my desk. I have old San Diego Chargers. What else? I have so many, and they're not getting cheaper, and I need help. I'm literally asking for help. So please subscribe to the show. That's the way you can help today. Also, if you're not already, you should check out Blue Sky. It's the official app of sports, many are calling it. I'm over there at Derek Adam Thomas. A lot of the guests that have been on this show are over there and are great follows. And the show also has a handle. I haven't done a ton of posting from it, which is what I say about all of my social media because it's true. But it's Derek Likes Sports over there on Blue Sky. I am on Instagram. You can find stuff there probably, but all of that helps. I am so appreciative that anybody listens to the show. It means a whole lot because a lot of times I just get in front of a microphone and I ramble and I don't even say things that make sense, and I have takes that I don't even necessarily agree with, and you all are there for all of it, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and enjoy the Super Bowl, which is just days away. I will have more content between then and now, so check that out, and I will see you then.